Hey, y'all, this is John Hinks with Big John Talks. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I have a special guest today, Marc Sightler with Sightler Heating and Cooling. I can tell you right now, today is July 26th, and this weekend was a reminder that South Carolina does get hot. We have had a pretty mediocre, well, a nice summer. How about that? I won't say mediocre, but I think South Carolina decided to turn the heat on. And I really want to thank Marc for coming today because I know he is super busy helping a lot of people out there, but getting the message out right now, how important it is for your heating and cooling, especially with the heat being turned on right now, is great timing. So Marc, thanks so much for coming, man. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you I enjoy having you.
Yeah, man. So, I get to do the financing side of real estate. I never really get to be in the house and showing the people around and helping them buy a house and so forth. And I own a house, and you actually helped me with a checkup on heating and air. But I can't imagine the importance right now of that little unit that's in your house. So
Well, it's one of the two most expensive things in your home, and especially to first home buyers. It's very important for them to know where their mechanical equipment is in case of safety failures, electrical failures, so they know where things are. You'd be surprised people live in homes for 7, 8, 12 years and not even know that there's an air handler up in the attic.
I mean, I know where the thermostat is, so I can
Right.
turn it up and down, but I don't know where.
And so many times people, especially in real estate, going in doing inspections, and if the seller is there, they're like, "Oh, the units are outside," and I'm looking, and there's grills up in the ceiling, and I'm like, "There's something up in the attic," And next thing you know, there's two furnaces up there, and they never even knew they even existed up there. They just thought those little boxes outside was just all they had.
Yeah.
But there's so many different designs of units. So you have split systems that in the majority of those houses that are in closets, attics, crawl spaces.
Yeah.
And you just never know because you never go in those spots.
So when you're buying a house, I mean, you made a really good point there. Like, it's one of the two most expensive things that's having to do with what's the other expensive thing?
Roof.
The roof. Well, everybody talks about the roof and the HVAC. That's right. When they're buying a house, I can only imagine. I mean, so
Anywhere from $6,000 starting off is probably going to be and of course you got bigger houses that have $60,000 roofs, so they can be very expensive.
one of the things I really appreciated when you came and just did a checkup on my house is you educated me, the homeowner, on what it is that actually keeps my kids cool at night and during the day. I mean, can you kind of can you do a little bit of a walkthrough what you help homeowners and home buyers do?
Well, some of the best things you can do as a homeowner, and you have the best tools. Everybody has those qualities, and that's touch, feel, and listen and see. And so you got to use those tools. You want to see it. If you can know where it's at up in the attic, it has a drain pan, and the unit cut off. Well, you might see that there's water in that pan. Well, you have a shop vac. You can pull that water out, get the air conditioner up and going, but call me saying, "Hey, I need you to come, but keep an eye on that so it doesn't destroy your ceiling." But you were able to keep yourself cool until I got there. Because I'm not going to be up. We planned this a while ago. That's why it's on the schedule. The schedule's booked. It just, those things help educate people, and then they know where their filters are. Filters, a clogged filter can start making a coil very dirty, making the drain line clog. A dirty coil can lose 20% of efficiency. So that means you just added 20% to your light bill. That's monthly. So that hits your bottom dollar.
It does.
So you're paying for that. And you take care of your stuff, it takes care of you, and it lasts longer. So the more I can teach you about that home, and every home is different. So even though let's say you're walking in, this is your 10th home you're moving into. This house is totally different than the other 9.
One of the things I really appreciated was the fact that, this is one of my second or third homes that I've lived in, and I'm out in the country, and you came out. I mean, what is your service area? How do you serve the Midlands?
It goes from pretty much Blythewood, Elgin, all the way to Aiken, Swansea to Prosperity.
And are you a one-man show?
I have about 4 crews that do work for me. I do a lot of my service installations. I got contracted out, but
No kidding.
yep.
Wow.
So with my contractors, so we get it done though.
How long
New
you?
construction, light commercial, residential.
So you service new construction. You'll do a little bit with commercial as well.
Light commercial.
Light
Yeah,
commercial?
like something like an establishment we're in.
All over the place. Oh, wait, how long have you been in the Midlands?
I've been in the Midlands my whole life. I was born right here at Lexington Hospital.
Lexington Hospital? No
Yep,
kidding.
right.
Man, and what got you into heating and cooling?
Be honest, I grew up in a small town. Well, Chapin was a small town back then. You had 2 choices on Saturdays. You went with mom and grandma and sister to go shopping, or you went with grandpa or your dad to work. And my dad did landscaping. My grandfather did heating and air stuff. And so I realized real quick that grandpa went places.
Yeah.
And went a bunch of places, but he also ate good.
Yeah, that's
lunch.
right. That's right.
Dad's at one place working on this job all day long trying to get it done, and you're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at lunchtime in the shade.
I understand. Yeah.
So I realized real quick I like what my grandfather did, but then I actually had a friend ask me to help them do some duct work when I was 14, and ran about 4 lines of duct in about 4 hours, and I walked out of there with $300 in cash. And you about couldn't tell a boy in 1993 with
300,
for $300 in cash. Back then it was, or I say
that'll last you a whole year almost.
It felt good. So I was like, and got out of high school, was thinking I was going to chase the baseball dream, and was already asking for some forgiveness from doing crazy teenager stuff. And then I found myself needing to go to work, and went back to work for that same guy, which was Charles Edfield, that owned Edfield Heating and Cooling. Worked there for a couple of years, and then I went to work for a guy I just left a couple of years ago, and worked for him. So I've been doing it 23 years. So June 2nd was 23 years.
23 years.
From a helper to an installer to a startup guy to a maintenance technician to a service technician to a senior service technician to a service manager. I managed 23. I grew that department from 4 technicians to 23 technicians. Then I went to another company and was an operations manager for a short time, and sitting at that desk going, if I can do this myself, and I haven't looked back.
And when did you open Sightler Cooling?
October 1st of 2018.
No kidding.
Yep.
So celebrating 3 years coming up.
Yep, coming up.
Man, that is fantastic.
Through the pandemic and everything, and just been as busy as I can be, and blessed, very blessed. But I love what I do. I'm very passionate in anything I do. And you get what drives me in this industry is I can instantly see the feedback from the people when because you get the air conditioner going, and y'all know as soon as it gets on, you're like, oh, here comes heaven.
Oh, it is. It is definitely.
And it's very rewarding to see that, and that's what drives. That's what drives us to do it. Getting up at 10 o'clock at night because I got home. We've been out of town all weekend, and we got home late, and the house is 95 degrees, and can you come help us? And they're an hour and a half later, they got air conditioning.
Well, it is very evident. It is very evident you love the people of the Midlands. You are from the Midlands. You are a Midlands man growing up. You've covered just about everything you can do when it comes to heating and cooling. But as far as the Midlands, I mean, you've been around, you've seen the different types of businesses, you've been around. What are some of the favorite things you love about living in Midlands of South Carolina?
2 hours from the beach, 2 hours from the mountains.
Jackpot.
And everywhere in between is a golf course. And
that's right.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think of sometimes I hear some of us golfers complaining about how the golf course is, and it's like, we have no idea what a really terrible golf course can really look like. Yeah. And so that's probably my favorite thing is I love the beach and I love the mountains and everything in between it.
Well, you know, I grew up in Columbia myself, and just watching Chapin and Lexington and Kershaw County and Blythewood and everything that's going on around us and seeing how much it grows, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've just been telling people, you know, like Columbia is like the black hole. Once you come in, we ain't gonna let you out. You know, most people stay. You know, and if you can't find anything to do in Columbia, you ain't trying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have some of those bigger, you know, football teams or bigger baseball teams, but I can tell you go to one of these college games and you'll be like, why do I even go to those professional games? Because it's real.
It's everything.
You know, so it's everything you need.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, I mean, I got you in here and trying to learn a little bit more about your business. If to learn a little bit more about you, as far as like you're representing Sightler Heating and Cooling. I mean, the name's on the side of your trucks. But what I always try to ask any business owner that you're very successful. I've already gotten to work with you, so I can vouch for you 100%. That's why you're on the podcast with me. But what is Marc Sightler's superpower, man? What is the one thing that makes you who you are?
I don't know. I don't think about myself.
You don't think about it. Well, we're going to go with humility. How about that?
Humility is probably
humility
is the, you know, I always put myself last. That's probably a downfall at some extent, but
y'all can't see it. He just went 3 shades of red deeper. So I'm going to tell him what his superpower is. The superpower truly is, he said it earlier, he gets a call at night. He's going to go help a family out because you don't know what you're missing until you don't have it. And I can tell you right now, in this South Carolina heat, not having cooling in your house is just not a good thing. So having Marc Sightler on your side to come and help you. So I would highly suggest befriending Marc, learning more about his company, more about his business, getting a checkup. You don't know if your heating and air is in good shape or not, unless you're an expert yourself. You know, Marc, why don't you do this for me? Why don't you tell everybody how to get best in touch with you and learn more about you?
You can find us on Sightler Heating and Cooling. You can find us on Facebook, or you can call us at 803-307-7391 and get us that way. 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're pretty much going to respond to you. Messaging of any sort. So.
It's a family-owned business, guys, in a family town. It's a local business that I am showcasing. I am proud to showcase. Remarkable person, amazing business, and do yourself a favor, get yourself a checkup with Marc Sightler, with Sightler Heating and Cooling. And this is Big John Talks. And tune in for the next podcast coming soon. And Marc, thanks so much for being here, man.
Thank you. And everybody remember to change your air filters.
Change your air filters. He does say that's not his job. That's your job. So change your air filters.
Change your air filters. It helps.
All right. Big John out. Thank you, guys.